Here's a secret. I opened a Telegram channel for you. It's in the description. Go and grab it before everyone else gets here. Why does everybody think the stock markets keep going up? Because they're just going up non-stop. It's crazy, isn't it, to think about? Nobody seems to care about the government shutdown or anything like that at the moment. Everybody just thinks the markets are going to keep going up. Which brings me to the point, trading's risky. If you don't like risk, you probably shouldn't be trading. Just out of interest. Let's have a look at the trades for today. Perhaps we should wait for everyone to get here at 2 o'clock. Don't know. We'll see. Hello, Henry. You asked what time zone. I always write the time zone on the thumbnail, GMT +2, and normally in the description was GMT +2. Whatever I write, GMT +2. Okay, everybody's in a different time zone. Yeah, how's it, Alberto, Henry, and Val? Good to see you guys. Lovely ciao, as you say. Hopefully everyone can hear me and everyone's good and everyone's making loads and loads of money in this market that just keeps on going up. It's crazy. Here's a government shutdown on the offing. People are not going to get paid their salaries because of this. Some people are saying Trump has orchestrated it because it's going to give him the opportunity to fire a few people or something to that effect. I don't know. We'll see. But this, markets do not go up in a straight line. Markets never go up in a straight line. They always have to go up, come down, correct, go up, come down, correct. At the moment, what I'm seeing is far too many people in the market thinking that markets just go up and they never go down. Maybe they're new to the market. Maybe they haven't been here a long time. I don't know. But people just keep on buying into the market. Another good example of this is gold. Gold is insane. Now, I agree with most of the punters saying it'll probably get to 4,000 because 4,000 is a round number. And that's the only reason it's going to get there. It's not because of any economy or anything happening in the world. The only reason it's going to get to 4,000 is because all the traders want it to get to 4,000 because 4,000's a round number. I even heard someone call for 17,000 on gold. Just the other day, it was $1,500 and nobody wanted it. Now it's at 3,800 odd and everybody wants it. That's the right attitude to have because the more expensive it is, the better it is. But everyone's calling it. And you probably could get a trade up to 4,000, but I'll be fair with you. I'm not touching it. I'm not going near it. As far as I'm concerned, on a long side, trade what you see, but I'm not happy with it. Not comfortable with this market at all at the moment. And that's 33 years of experience talking. I've seen this all before. And it is concerning. And everybody's saying to me, but Rob, it's different this time. And my reply to that is, really? What they said to me last time. It's different this time. It's always different, isn't it? Hello, Elaine. How's it, Henny? I'm sorry, Alberto. I don't speak Italian, but perhaps you have the auto dubbing on this video. I don't know. If not now, perhaps later on a rewatch. I don't know how that all works. YouTube does this whole auto dubbing thing, which is really fantastic. I'm using the old Trader charts today. Something different. Okay, so Brent crude oil. I'm just going to go through a few of the trades at the moment. Brent crude oil. I do have a long trade on it on a couple of places. Not here, obviously, but on a couple of places. And what it's done at the moment is it's come all the way down. It's hit the support. It really has crashed down. And it's starting to, the buyers are starting to try and come back in because it's hit that support down at the bottom here. Clearly, they're trying to get back in. And we'll probably get a green candle going up there, and it might try and go back to the top. That seems to have found a range between the 70 and the 65 level, which is unusual. Normally it's between 70 and 80. But okay. I think next time it goes to 70 with my dosh in it, maybe I'll have a relook at this trade because it's tiring me out, to be fair. The US 500 is just going up in the most insane manner. Doesn't seem to want to stop. Yeah. So I'm looking at this and thinking, where are we going with the S&P 500? So many people are just buying. Every time it comes back slightly, they buy some more. Every time it comes back slightly, they buy some more again. It's kind of a form of insanity, really. No, not for me. This market is looking like it's done for. Yeah, people are targeting the 7,000. Of course they are. I actually said at the beginning of the year it might actually hit 7,000 after it's gone through the 6,600, because just like gold, it's looking for that target, and it's moving to the upside, but it really has pulled away from levels. And even if I draw in a support here, it's pulled away quite far. Yeah, a lot of people are now calling it'll get to 6,800 quite quickly. But why? There's nothing in the market that's calling this to work out. There's nothing in the market that's given me confidence to say this is going to work out well. So it's broken past the prior highs. It's on a breakout at the moment. So I'm looking at this and thinking it's on a breakout. If you trade what you see, you've got to go along with this. But I just, to be fair, I don't want to. I just don't want to. And not with the big money anyway. I might take the odd gamble here and there on the odd funded account, but on the real money, I'm very nervous with this market. I've just got this feeling that everyone's getting sucked in. I have seen this before, where everybody just keeps on buying because they've never seen a market go down. And it just feels that way right now. Guys, don't listen to me. I could be completely wrong. I have been completely wrong a number of times in the past, which is why I have this channel here to help you guys along. So if I am wrong, yeah, don't hold it against me. But really, I'm looking at this and I'm seeing a big fall coming, and I'm seeing a lot of surprises coming out of this market. It's crazy to think that nobody seems to even be in the slightest bit worried that there's a government shutdown in the offing in the background, arguments going on and whatnot. People might not get paid their salaries in the US and all these types of things. There's wars going on in the world. There's so much going on in the world, and people are just buying. It's crazy. The gold I can understand, because gold is usually something that people will go to when the situation is like this. When the situation's like this, people jump into gold, because gold is the safe haven trade. You know, if the world ends, you got gold, you're probably going to be okay. You'll be able to trade it for the odd sandwich. But you won't be able to trade the S&P 500 for the odd sandwich. You'll be in kind of trouble, and this one just keeps on going up. Like I say, the gold I can understand, but when this all settles down, the gold is going to come crumbling down. The strange one is how they're holding Brent down and making gold go up, because are they now feeling that oil is going to be worthless in this scenario? Everything is upside down at the moment, which is very interesting. New Zealand dollar, US dollar. New Zealand dollar, US dollar is very bullish at the moment. Look at this, all the way down, big fall down, big red candles on the 4-hour, massive red candles, broke down through the lower support, back up to retest, through the retest, green candle, but now there's a red candle. But I do believe that this is going to break to the upside because it's broken structure to the upside. How do we determine structure? Quite easily, we take a trend line, draw it through the system here. There's your trend line. Oops, wrong color. Make it yellow so you guys can see it. There you go. So that's a trend line. It's broken through the trend. It's broken to the upside, and it's moving along to the upside. So now you've got an upward trend, and it's counter trending and moving to the upside. And it's also broken back through the prior highs, moving to the upside. So this looks very bullish at the moment. New Zealand dollar, US dollar. Doesn't look too bad, actually. Looks pretty good. Okay. Elevation, good to have you, man. Good to have you on board. There'll be a few new people here today, hopefully. That's always lekker. I enjoy having a few new people on the show. It is nice to see you guys. And of course, there's the A team, the old guys that are all here. For the new guys that are here, we talk to each other, we help each other along with trading, and we try and show you the best possible way to trade. Sometimes we take some live trades while we're here. If something comes up, we go for it, and we see what it goes from there. This account's only holding US dollar, Canadian dollar at the moment, which is a sell. Okay, US dollar, Canadian dollar as a sell. Still holding that. Okay, yes, I actually called that as trade of the day today, and on these charts actually. Double top. We did get in earlier on most of the accounts, and we got in maybe a bit early on these first red candles here. On this one, we've got now the double top, which is showing a sort of confirmation of the short on this, and we're going short on this with a view to it making it down to the bottom here at the 137s with a stop loss up at the 140, 250. So the US dollar, Canadian dollar, you can clearly see she's had a long run up. She's hit resistance. On that resistance, I'm just going to make that resistance at the top so because the other charts I use the green so you guys can see the same stuff. That is the resistance. It's double topped on that, and it looks like it wants to come down off of that. Caution is advised. If it breaks to the upside on that, then we've got an upward move, and it's going the other way. Euro, US dollar looks a little bit bearish at the moment, but it has broken some structure and looks like it wants to go along sideways and try to go up, but it is bearish at the moment, and it looks like it wants to fall down. Just a feeling on that. The overall sort of movement is slightly to the upside on that one. This is the DAX. Wow, another bit of insanity. Everyone's buying the DAX. Everyone's buying into the DAX. Everyone's happy with Germany. Everyone's happy with the world there. And yeah. Well, that's a clear move to the upside. Clear move to the upside. So this now becomes your support. So we'll make that red as well, since it's the support. And now we've got an all-time high coming up at the top here. It looks like it wants to fly. So where's the level? The level's up there. There is a level there, 24,600. I think if it breaks that, she's really going to fly. Interesting on the DAX. Big moves there, massive moves to the upside. US dollar, Canadian dollar we just did. Euro, Great British Pound. That does look rather kind of bearish as well, even though there's a green candle here, because it's kind of fallen over. It's just rolling over to the downside. Couple of big red candles. Now it's trying to recover. There's a good chance it'll just carry on down. There is a slight bearish tinge to this. So that does look like it wants to come down as well. We might want to look at Bitcoin. See if I can find it down here. I haven't been using these charts for a while. There you are. Bitcoin is also, there's a lot of movement on Bitcoin because of what's happening with the US government shutdown, the US story, and what's happening there. So a lot of people are buying into Bitcoin just like they're buying into gold. But while that makes sense, but what doesn't make sense is everybody's buying into the US 500 at the same time. So yeah, like I say, maybe I'm wrong. We shall see. I think what I'll do with Bitcoin here is maybe just draw a trend line in. And you can keep an eye on that and just see what it does. I will make that one yellow as well so you can see it. Okay, there you go. It has pulled away quite far from the trend. So there is a good chance that it will come down, take that, and carry on going up. There is a bottom level here. It has broken past the prior high, so it is pretty strong on this level. Looks like it wants to go up from there. Bitcoin's looking pretty strong. Looks like it's going to go all the way to the 120 again. Then maybe it'll come back and look for the 110 again. Looks like it's trading in that range. So we'll see what happens with that. So where is the 120s up there? 126 was the last high. So that might be quite an interesting one to watch. Crazy how the world is going at the moment. But a lot of fun. Hello, Sir Lunchalot. Good to see you. Blue Mango is having a lovely week being long on gold. Maybe 2 weeks. Yes, I'm short US dollar CAD, if I remember correctly. Yes, on this one as well. Yes, I'm short US dollar Canadian dollar here. I'm short US dollar Canadian dollar in a few other places as well. There's a double top on the US dollar Canadian dollar. So while it is trying to find its way up and everything is just going up, then yeah, okay, wonderful stuff. The big mistake, well, the big thing you don't want to do is, for example, on this S&P 500 is to say, well, it shouldn't be that high and go short, because then you're going against the trend, you're going against the waves, and that's the supermarket mentality. You've got to trade what you see. And if you don't want to trade it because you don't feel it, then don't trade it. That's as simple as it gets. But don't try and go against it. Don't try and take the opposite gamble just because you feel that way. That's not always going to work. That could sometimes just be a bit of a problem for you. So just leave it, let it be. I don't want to get in long here. I'd rather pick this up at a much lower price, even if it's down here, and just look for a better deal. But everybody just keeps on buying, because they just don't believe that this will ever go down, I suppose. And if it never goes down, brilliant stuff, eh? Brilliant stuff. Dum, 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 dum. So Sir Lunch, you've been long on gold for days. Everybody is talking about gold. Everybody's excited about gold. Everybody's long on gold. But you have to be careful of gold at the moment. It is pulling away from its levels. It is getting a bit overbought. In fact, let's have a look at an RSI. Where are the indicators on this thing? Are these the indicators? Yeah, let's have a look at an RSI. Relative Strength Index. Add to chart. Okay, well, it's not that bad. It was over there, which is over there, which is overbought there. Overbought over here, so she's above the 70 line. Yeah, she's come back down. Interesting, there's a divergence here. This is going down, that's going up. So for those of you who trade divergence, you might be looking at this and thinking, ooh, there's a divergence on gold. So if you are long on gold, pay heed, take note. There's a divergence. The RSI is looking a bit, yeah, look like it wants to go down, and the price is looking like it wants to go up, which is interesting. So yeah, keep an eye on that. Just thought I'd have a look at that while we're here. But for those of you who don't understand divergence, if the RSI is going down and the price is going up, then it's a divergence, which means it's going to go the other way. Have a look out. Doesn't always mean that, though. I don't even trade with divergence because they're so few and far between. But I am not a buyer of gold at the moment. For those of you that have been in gold for a while and you've made the money, that's great. Now you've made the money, okay? Move your stop losses up, move your trailing stops up, keep an eye on it. Don't leave your stop loss all the way down at the bottom. Bring it into profit, because there's a good chance that things are going to change. And when things change, you don't want to be shocked. You want to be in the right place. But there's a good chance it's going to make the 4,000, because the 4,000, every trader I know wants to make that 4,000 level. They're all talking about it. And as I said earlier, some people are even talking about 17,000 and some other ridiculous numbers, which is never going to reach, not anytime soon. Maybe when the economy changes. You see, that's another thing I want to bring up, guys, with this market moving so strongly. Companies like Citi and JP Morgan and all these companies doing so well. Yet, if you look at inflation and you look at what people are paying for things, not just where I am, but in the USA, in Europe, wherever, there's a lot of inflation. Money's running out. People are not going to be able to afford stuff soon. And if people are not buying stuff, these shares can't do that well. Whether it be food, whether it be cars, whether it be clothing, just look at the fundamentals of it. If the inflation is high and people have to spend more money, which they don't have in their pockets, clearly that's going to affect things in one respect or another, which makes this look kind of strange. The whole picture of everything. Everybody's just buying. Now, while we all understand as traders that we buy into the market with the intention of a price to earnings, like a future earnings, it's a future earnings price. You don't buy for today's value. You're expecting a value for tomorrow. But if you're expecting a value for tomorrow and the inflation's going up and people don't have money in their pockets, then maybe your call for tomorrow is wrong because you're thinking it's going up, when in fact people don't have that money and they might not get the result that you expect. That said, this is obviously institutional money that's pushing it up. So maybe they know something that we don't, or they're just getting it wrong, which they've done many a time before, because I've seen economists, they don't look at the bigger picture. They don't look at what's happening in the world. They don't look at how the money is flowing in the world, in the countries, etc. They just look at the figures of today and they work out, oh, that's going to happen tomorrow because we're reducing interest rates, or because this happens or that happens. Maybe they know something about the government shutdown that we don't know because they're still buying and everybody's buying. But it just amazes me that everybody just keeps on buying with a view to, nothing's going to go down. Everything's just going to be hunky-dory and the world's just going to keep on going forward. Yeah, thanks, Annie. Don't forget to hit the like button, gents. While you're here, hit the like button. And the first thing I said when I opened this video, the first thing I said to everyone, now that I see there's a few people watching the video, not millions, but a few. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, shall I say, I have now got the Telegram group channel for you guys. I've put the link in the description. Why don't you all go down there and join it if you like? I'll post some trades in there. You guys can post some trades in there. Bounce some information back and forward. Do me a big favor, guys. Don't be sending me personal messages in the middle of the night. I won't be answering them. I do have a life, but great stuff. The Telegram channel is there. We can bounce things in there back and forward. That's why I've got it there. I'm keeping an eye on it. What I do want to just point out, let me just, hopefully I can switch it on here. Here's the Telegram channel, guys. So just take note on the Telegram channel here. I hope you can see my pointer. That's the logical trading banner. Now, I did notice on the Discord that someone actually copied that down to the T. And that's why I walked away there, because every time I changed it, they just copied it again. So hopefully that doesn't happen here. But just take note that I will never, ever, now just note these words, ever try to sell you something on the Telegram channel. I will never post a link here to try and sell you something. I will never try and promote something to you here on the Telegram channel. Remember this, okay? And if anybody does try to do that on the Telegram channel and you see it, do me a favor, make a note on the Telegram channel to the group, is this Rob? Okay? And that person will know you're on to them. If that happens, I hope it won't happen here. I presume it won't happen here. But if it does, there you go. What does the actual channel look like? I've made a little chart like that, just for now, a little picture of a chart, so you can see that's it. It's logical trading. This is the group in logical trading, so whatever you post here will be seen by the entire group. Here's a person trade for profit that's just put on here. Earlier on, we had 1 member, then 4 members. Now we've got 5 members, and there's 2 online. So there you go, guys. You know, if you find the link in the description, go mad. Perhaps what I'll do, I'll put a link right here, right now in the chat, and you guys can get onto the Telegram channel as well. You guys have been asking for it, and I had a problem with Discord, so I thought I'll give Telegram a good old try, and we'll see how that goes. So I think what I'll do, yes, I'll actually do that now. I'll actually post a link on here for you guys. Let me see if I can find the link quickly. There we go. Copy that. And I'm going to put it into the chat for you guys, because you guys support me on the live shows. So there you go. You guys are the ones that are interested in communicating, learning about trading and whatnot. And you guys are the guys that need this link. So there's the link. Okay. Go in there. Join the group if you want to. Obviously. No one's forced to join the group, of course. And there you go. There's a couple of people joined already. Perfect. I can see it happening right here. No, that's great. Lovely stuff. Okay. Yeah, the US shutdown is a bit of a okay, great stuff. You guys are on the group. That is perfect. There you go. That's what I want to see. Shane, the group's there for you as well, eh? Don't forget, join the group. Everyone on. Okay. And then we can have that going. Really good to see you. Okay, so that's sorted. Let's hope that that group works out, unlike the Discord group, which went insane. And, you know, I actually contacted the admin of Discord and everything and tried to get assistance, and they kind of laughed me off, man. So Discord, I think I'm just going to cancel it completely and close it down. And then we'll just use Telegram, because you can literally speak to each other on the group. And I hope that we won't have any hassles here. I mean, I have had groups on the WhatsApp before as well, and I never picked up any hassles there, but that wasn't as public as this. But yeah, I've done this type of thing before, and it normally works. So let's see how that goes. So let's see how many of you guys, there we go. We got Shane on. That's what I like to see. We're all on, moving along. By the end of today, we should have at least 25 or 30 people on that group. I actually started the show with, I've opened the group for you guys. Okay, so there we go. Like I say, just don't be sending me messages in the middle of the night. Yeah, I agree. Also, I think Telegram is very good for trade talk. And I also, but I have heard one or two other, particularly YouTubers, mention that they had a problem. So I am a little bit, you know, aware that there could be issues. So like I say, guys, if you see anything untoward, someone trying to sell you something, someone trying to force you into something on that group, then just ask the question, is this Rob? It might not be, okay? Because I won't sell you anything on the group. What I normally do for my affiliated products, or if I've got something for you, or a free book, or if there's a link in the description to a product that you might need, like a funded account or something like that, it'll be in the YouTube description and it'll be affiliated there, and you can choose to go there or not. Whereas on that type of thing, I will never try to force you guys into buying something through a Telegram channel or something to that effect. So just keep that in mind if somebody ever comes at you with that, because what happened on Discord was terrible, and I'm pretty sure it could easily have destroyed my reputation, not to mention scammed a few of you guys out of your money, which was a very big concern to me. Okay, so the gold is already showing signs of sellers. Look at that, it went all the way up, and there's a whole bunch of sellers. You see these tails, guys, you've got to watch these tails. These tails are important. On the lower time frames, they'll show as red candles. And effectively, what you've got here is a whole bunch of sellers getting back into that candle, getting back into that market. Doesn't mean it's going to be like that, but keep an eye out for it. See there's all the buyers getting back in, little green candle, and then the next candles are all green. So if all the sellers are getting back in, you could end up with a situation of everyone selling and going down on this market. So just keep an eye on that. Be careful if you are long on gold. Put your trailing stop up and try and make some money that way and try and follow it up. Always important to do that. Okay, I just want to have a look. Have I got the news here for you guys as well? And there's the Telegram channel filling up. Right, so we've gone from 4 members to 11 members in a matter of a few minutes, and that's absolutely perfect. I just wanted to go in here and check if I can pick up the news quickly. Okay, let's go and have a look at the news. So the big news, obviously, OpenAI complete share sale at record $500 billion valuation. Just give me the $500 billion, man. Don't worry about it. Microsoft's $33 billion bet to boost AI computing power. Everything's about AI these days. AI this, AI that, AI. All I ever hear is AI, nothing else in the market. Perhaps I should just talk about AI. EU plans double tariffs on steel imports. Buffett's Berkshire to pay nearly 10 billion for Occidental's Oxychem. S&P 500 eyes fresh record as AI trumps shutdown. Interesting. Nvidia is way up at the top again, doing so well, and I'm really happy about that because obviously I'm a shareholder there. It's great. I mean, wow. Money just gets more with the investments. That's why I say time in the market, guys, time in the market. But the people just don't seem to be concerned at all about the shutdown, which is concerning. It's very concerning. As I say, the last time I saw that, it didn't go well. I actually heard a trader tell me today that they've actually never seen a situation like this where the market just doesn't go down. They've never seen a chart like this. And I said, well, I've seen it a few times in my career, and that person's been trading a really long time as well. So I don't know why they haven't seen it. Maybe they just never noticed it, but I have actually seen it before. This is the US dollar, the Dixie. It's got a double bottom on it, as I mentioned in previous videos. It is coming down again today, but I got a feeling that this is going to pick up and start shooting on to the upside and do quite well. The VIX. Wow, am I waiting for the VIX? Don't you think it's time the VIX went just like that? Get your trades in on the VIX, guys, because look at the distance between that one, and where are we now? Pretty close to another run. So I'm just looking at this and thinking as well, I've got that feeling in the market. Now I'm looking at the VIX. It's time to own the VIX. Definitely time to own the VIX. So guys, keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on the VIX. I think the VIX is also going to shoot up. Things are going to go pear-shaped pretty soon. Keep an eye on it. Don't ignore it. So many people ignore these signs, these signals, but it's particularly in general, I've noticed it's generally because people have not been in the market long enough to see these disasters, and they just keep on buying because they think the market just goes up and up and up and up. And then when these disasters do hit, everybody's in shock and everybody loses all their money because they don't have stop loss. So just manage your risk. That's all you got to do is manage your risk and you'll be okay. You don't need to do much else. I mean, if you just manage your risk, you'll always be okay. You'll lose that 1% that you've got on each and every trade, and that's all you'll lose. You won't lose any more than that. You'll always just only lose that. Okay, so we've got our Telegram channel taking off, and that's what I like to see. Finally says, got mixed feelings about AI. You know, me too. It really does. It's useful in so many ways, And I know that my kids use it a lot as well. You know, I don't know which one. There's different ones now. You got Google, you got ChatGPT, you got all the Grok, you got all these different ones, right? That do different things for you. And now even like the editor I use for the training videos and things like that has got all kinds that they're promoting AI on a regular basis. It's all AI. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I really can't tell you much. A lot of people are concerned that AI is going to take over as far as people for employment or employment for people goes. But I'm never concerned about things like that because we come from an age where people were concerned about that 100 years ago. You know, like, oh, they're going to put machines in and they're going to get rid of all the workers. And what I've found through time with human beings is we always find another way to make an income. We always find another way to move forward. So I don't think that's as big an issue as what we think, because we already have a huge starvation problem in the world and poor people and all the rest of it, people that won't be able to make it. Where I do see a problem is in the past, the people in the world, and I want to say this in a very nice way, not in a demeaning way, but there is a large percentage of people in the world that don't have the highest IQs in the world and can't get the best jobs, right? So those people would get lower class jobs in the world and get the manual jobs and the jobs that other people don't want to do, for example. now with AI, will those jobs still be around? Will they be needed if we start making robots to do the jobs for us, or different systems in place? I mean, for example, garbage removal in the new cities and that sort of thing will be a situation where people will put the garbage into a hole and it'll get sucked away and taken straight to the rubbish dump. In other words, it doesn't have to be transported there, it doesn't have to be picked up, and there won't be garbage in the streets. So that takes that kind of work away. So that does kind of concern me on the AI front a little bit. But generally what I've found over time in the past, if you look at history, human beings have found a new way to make a way when things improve, when things change. So we don't really, and all the things that we've actually got these days have created new jobs. I mean, we've got mobile phones, flat screen TVs, AI, we've got computers and internet and all that sort of stuff. That's created a whole plethora of new jobs that weren't there before that started. So everybody before that started was worried what they're going to do next, where they're going to work, or what are they going to do. I used to make candlesticks. What am I going to do now? You know, oh, well, now you're going to go and put wires in a building and be an electrician. I mean, it always changes and it always goes forward and it always moves forward. And I can understand the concern with AI, but it'll create some form of new type of work. So I wouldn't be too concerned about that. Wow, okay, so we've got a Telegram channel that is moving absolutely well. I'm just looking at it here. I know you guys can't see this, I haven't switched it on, but lovely stuff, guys. For those of you who haven't seen it working yet, look at that. Look at everybody's messages. There you go. Everyone's here. All the important people on Telegram. And thanks Sir Lunchalot for that lovely picture. That's why I put this on here. Marvelous stuff. You're definitely the guy to go and have a frosty with one day. Totally love it. Bomb. No jobs have ever been safe. Yeah. You see, the trouble with, I agree with you, Nick, that a currency collapsing and then markets don't go down, and in fact, commodities go up because it creates some kind of super cycle and all that. But by the same token, there just appears to be no, how can I put it, no concern whatsoever that there's going to be a problem with this issue, and people just keep on buying and buying and buying into the market. And it just makes it very, very interesting. That's all it does. It begs the question, you know, what's going on with that, and why is it happening? That's all. That's all that it's like incredibly strange. That's interesting. I just want to see something here. Why would it do that? I'll tell you what, trying to get things opened. Okay, that sounds fair. Okay, so the Telegram channel going well. Everybody's joining the Telegram channel now. That's what we like to see. That's always what we like to see. We'll just close that. And I've got so much stuff open on this computer at the moment. It's probably going to drive me completely insane. Okay, good stuff. Telegram channel now has, and it's growing beautifully. 15 members. There we go, guys. Absolutely perfect. I'm pretty sure, hello, Manu. I'm pretty sure on the Dow Jones front, okay, we have a pretty much a similar situation to what we've got with the US 500 and what we've got with the Euro US dollar. Okay, so, you know, it just, it keeps on going up. And I presume your chart will look something similar to this. And it's bullish, full on bullish. As I said earlier, they just keep on going up. Everybody's just buying. As Nick says, the currency is going down. So it's having an effect. It's having a big effect on this, obviously. And yeah, you're good. You're good. But by the same token, I would be very, very careful with it being at these levels. I'd be very, very careful. Just keep that in mind. Okay, I just need to all of these things here. Just trying to stay in touch with everything, and to answer this. Okay. Okay. I think you guys are going to love this Telegram channel, I gotta say. I really do. I think you guys are just going to really love it. That looks great. Okay, I just need to be able to get into something here. And wonder why they can't display. Let me see. I can get in here. Okay. So you guys can post your trades on there. And go to town if you want to. Okay. Interesting. Wow, this is all very. Man, I'm trying to do something here. Really sorry if I'm quiet, guys. I'm just trying to sort something out here, which is a little bit. Okay. Save that. Yeah. Dum 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 dum. Okay. And we shall open that with that. Okay. Dum 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 dum. There we go. Okay, that looks fair. I'll get to that in a sec. So, guys, okay. Let me shut that down for now. Come back in here and check how many guys are chained. Okay, we will see. Nice share, but some idea stuff. I see it now. Okay, so you guys are typing quite a lot on, oh, there we go. There's your setup on the US 30. So now I can see your setup on the US 30. Interesting way of doing it, Sir Lunch. Let me just have a look at the US 30 here. You see, mine is pretty flat at the top here. But yes, you've broken to the upside, you're moving to the upside, it's in a bullish trend, and it's going up. So there's no question about it on the 4 hour. It's going up. And if I'll have a look at the day chart, it's really going up. So I think you're pretty much okay with that trade. You trade what you see. What I suggest, Sir Lunch-a-Lot, is just make sure that you've put your stop loss, your trailing stop up there, so that if it does decide to change its mind when you're not looking or when you're having tea or coffee, that at least you have that in place and it can protect you from any horrific disaster when you're not looking. Don't get overconfident with the trading. What I mean by that, not you personally, but what I find a lot of people tend to do, unfortunately, is when things start going down, because they've been seeing so much upside, they tend to not believe that it's actually going down. So they think, it's just a small correction. It'll just go down to there and it'll go up. Look, I myself have done that with Brent crude oil, obviously, and with the South African rand. I've let it go down, thinking, I'll just go down and go up, and then it didn't. But I'm in a trade, so I'm looking at the trade going a full way. But I have a stop loss in place. The stop loss is there, and if it takes it out, it's there. Just make sure you got your risk management in place when you're taking these trades. So, for example, if I was to take the S&P 500 long now with a view to targeting the 7,000, I would just put my stop loss in place to make sure that I follow it up. Same with gold. If I decided now I want to go and target the 4,000, put my stop loss in place and follow it up. That's the important thing. Watch out on gold. There's a pincer top here. Do you know what a pincer top is? The two very close together. They're right next to each other. It's almost like a double top, but it's a pincer top, which is even more deadly than a normal top. Watch out for that. Those are normally quite deadly, and it could cause a bit of a fall here. So watch out for these pincer tops here. Those are not straightforward, okay? Okay, so the Telegram is great for us when I'm not sitting here talking to you guys and giving you information. You guys can post all this stuff back and forward, and you can show each other what you're doing, and we can talk to each other on this group. It's absolutely amazing. I like it like this, and I used to have a group like this, as I said, but only with 4 or 5 friends. This is going to be insanely bigger. But it's great. It's absolutely great. We'll be able to talk to each other. You'll be able to post your trades. And feel free. Post your trades if you feel it's like worth it for everyone else to see. And show people the levels. I should take profit and not screenshots, right? I love that comment. That's absolutely... Shane says, are you using Tory trades or trend line strategy? I think our trend line strategy should be pretty similar right through. If you're trading it correctly, it should be pretty much the same. Just out of interest, okay? So when you ask those guys, are they using that? They can use, this one is pretty much the same, I think. I don't know if you guys can tell me if there's something different. I don't know. But normally trend line strategies are not complicated. They're normally quite simple. But remember, guys, the way I trade or the way we trade, or, you know, I look at it the 3 ways. Trade with the trend, counter trade the trend, and trade in a range. Or, you know, or breakouts of the resistance and support is the same as counter trading the trend. So whatever's first, whatever's out there, and it gives you more options to trade. So I don't only counter trade trend lines. I'll trade in the trend. I'll also trade support and resistance. I'll also trade in the range. So for example, trading in the range involves like this Brent crude oil trade, trading in that range up and down if I can. That's as far as it gets. US dollar, Canadian dollar, we're trading in that range. This is also turned against me a little bit at the moment, but if it breaks that high, then I'll close those trades. But this is a short trade to the downside in that range. It's in that range. So I'm looking at it trading in that range as a double top. There's the green, there's the red at the bottom. It's trading in a range. So yeah, I kind of trade the three ways, but I think if you are using trend lines, you can use all of the trend line strategies. I think they're pretty much basic. I don't think they're too complicated in any way, shape, or form. When you say just sold US dollar, Canadian dollar, I just had a look at Telegram. But do you mean that you went short, or you just sold it because you were long? I mean, Marcus also in a sell. I'm in a sell on the US dollar, Canadian dollar. Look, guys, it's a big green candle here at the moment, which is a bit of a pain, but I'm looking at the overall picture there in the double top. Ooh. Well said, Nick. Well said. Well said. Nick commented here. Trendline trading entry into the market is easy. It's the money management that determines the success or not. And that's what I always tell you guys. It's the money management. It's definitely the money management. I agree with you, Nick. It's totally the money management that makes the difference. If you don't manage the money, I mean, it really doesn't make a difference which way you trade. The trend lines, well, any system for that matter, support and resistance, trend lines, range trading, trading with a crystal ball, it really doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it just gives you the confidence to take a trade and show you which way you're going. At the end of the day, what you're looking for is managing your trade and having a business plan around your trade. I had a comment that that basically said, interestingly enough, and I read this comment today, that, and a very nice comment, it wasn't cynical or nasty in any way. I was actually quite impressed. And thank you for being decent if you are on this show. But what the chap mentioned to me is he has completely the opposite method to me. In other words, he trades with the win rate, and he's very successful with that win rate and does quite well with that win rate. And in fact, has an 80% win rate. Now, I accept that. And if something is working for you, that's absolutely marvelous. And as I said in the comment back, very much that's what I also used to believe in. I used to believe in win rates. I used to believe that charts had predictive capabilities. And I believed that if you had a win rate, that you would win in the markets, which is logically true. If you do have a win rate, you should be winning in the markets. But then you realize that win rates are not what determine the profit. And that's where it all goes pear-shaped. Because you can have a win rate, but you don't necessarily have a profit. Because if every single one of your trades has a different risk factor to it, and every single one of your trades has a different profit factor to it, then how do you determine that you're going to be profitable overall? And it really doesn't matter if you win 8 trades in a row and you make $800 on those 8 trades and you're running around in circles telling everybody how good your win rate is. But then on the 9th trade, you lose $2,000 because of the size of the trade maybe, or maybe because you didn't have a proper stop loss, or maybe you just didn't manage the trade correctly. No matter what you're trading, no matter how you're trading, no matter whether you believe that you've got a win rate and you're good at, your system is really good, even if your system is the best system in the world and it's unseen by anyone else, in fact, fortune tellers would stumble over themselves to get your system, you still need a strategy, you still need a business plan, and you still need to manage the risk. Because otherwise, you're just floating in the wind. You've got no idea how much you're winning, how much you're losing. If you don't keep your risk the same, then how can you determine what you're going to make or how much you're going to lose? If you don't manage a stop loss, how can you determine whether you're going to win a lot or lose a lot? Because those losing trades can be insane. So like I say to you, I get you, and I understand you when you tell me that you believe in a win rate. But just understand me when I tell you that, like I said, even if you have the most amazing system in the world, you still need to strategize it. You still need to separate the charting part of it to the business part of it. Because if you don't, you're just going to be pie in the sky. Yes, you can win 8 trades out of 10. Yes, you're great and your system is amazing. But no, you do not have a business. You do not know where you're going with the business side of it. And that's the problem. That's always a problem. Try to understand that, and that is where you'll come right with these types of things. I had someone tell me the other day that I don't have a stop loss because the market always comes back. And I agree with you, especially in Forex and commodities. The market always comes back. You are completely correct. That happens. But do you have deep enough pockets to run with the market for as long as it's going to keep you in drawdown? Because everyone has a threshold which they can no longer hold on to. A threshold where they go, that's me, I'm done, I can't do this anymore, I'm so far in a loss, I've got to get out. It's really important, guys. It's really important to understand this. And I can't force anyone to understand it. I can't force anyone to believe in it, obviously. I mean, it's up to each individual person to sort that out for themselves. But I can tell you that I've been there, done that, sold a few t-shirts, excuse the pun, and I know what it's like. You believe in that win rate. You see, it's easy to have a win rate if you're not trying to achieve your target. The difficult part is having a proper target, a decent target to reach, and then not reaching it, and then your win rate goes down because you didn't reach the target. But if you don't have that target and you just want to take profits wherever you can, sure, you can have a huge win rate, but you've got profits all over the place. Now, as I've said to you guys before, most of my profit is made because I look on an annual basis, not on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. I look on an annual basis. And most of my profit is made on just a few trades that do gargantuanly well. One of them might be the VIX. Doesn't matter. They just do so well. They make a huge sum of money. And then there's a whole bunch of trades that reach target eventually. And you think, phew, that actually reached target. Look at that. What a great trade. Lovely stuff. And you run around cheering that. So that the ones that reach target, I mean, you guys have been doing this a while. You'll know if a trade reaches target, that's great. That's absolutely great. But then there's a large contingent of trades which are losses, small losses, of course, and small wins. Why are there small wins? Clearly, because small wins are when you move your stop loss up, you're in profit, it comes back, takes it out, and you make much less than what you were targeting. So those fall into that category as well. So you have a whole bunch of those within your system. Now, if you were the trader that said, I have a good win rate, then you would be that trader who would take all of those trades and say, these were all successful trades, so I've got a 70% win rate. When in fact you don't, because all those small trades were not really that great. Yeah, I don't want to go on about this forever, but I mean, I do have to. I do have to try and point that out. That because I hear it from a lot of people that they think that a chart's got a predictive capability and that somehow a win rate's going to make them money. If you don't manage the trade, you can't make the money. And thank you for that comment, Nick, because that took me on that road, down that road. Effectively, you mentioned it, and there we go. Okay. I have position running on gold. Should I let the buy open till tomorrow, or should I secure my profits at the end of today's New York session? Thank you. Henry, I don't want to tell you what to do with it because I might be wrong, okay? It's bullish at the moment. It's going well. Everything's fine. What I would do is what I always do and what I always tell you guys to do. I'll move my stop loss up to an area where I would be happy with the profit. And if it carries on going north, then lekker is an Afrikaans word for great. Sorry, I'm in South Africa. And if it if it does decide to come back and take out your stop loss, so be it. You've made a profit that you're happy with. Okay, that's the best way to take those kind of trades. If you're unsure, if you're looking at a trade and saying, should I take profit or not? Should I take profit or should I leave it? I don't know what to do. I'm not 100% here. Best thing to do, take your stop loss, move it up behind it, put it in profit, and then you know, if it takes it out, it's meant to be. If it doesn't take it out and it makes you much more money, it's also meant to be. Best way to do it, mate. Best way to do it. Okay. Especially for those undecided ones. If you clearly decide you reach a profit and you think, I want to take that, clearly you just click out of it and you take it. I mean, that's as easy as it gets. You guys don't YOLO all your money at once with leverage factor 200K. I have to go. Wish you all a beautiful weekend. Cheers, Solange. Good to have you on board. Chat to you on Telegram. Take care. Take care. The size of your pocket and the cracks. Half the time I feel lucky when the market turn around to profit after missing my stop loss by a few ticks. Yeah, no, if it misses your stop loss, and particularly if it misses your stop loss when you're in profit and you've moved it up, even better. That's an even better feeling than if it misses your stop loss at the bottom by a few ticks. If it misses your stop loss at the bottom by a few ticks, you put your stop loss in the right place. Let's be fair. You put it in an invalidation area, an area where you know it's going to miss your stop loss, which is absolutely perfect. If it somehow misses your stop loss when you're in profit, that's an even better feeling, because then it misses it, turns around and makes you much more money. Those are perfect. Those are always good. Carl, how's it? Good to see you. And welcome to Peter. Welcome to Trade of the Day. It's good to have you on board. Absolutely wonderful. Hope you enjoy it. Hope it works for you. Supports the channel, and that's always great. Thank you. Always helps when the channel gets a little bit of support. Right. So gold, US 500, and the US 500 is still going up. Non-stop, still going up. Quite incredible. Okay, so Lancelot put a chart here. Oil short idea. Don't copy enough. Okay. Here's a question, and finally asked about Euro Japanese yen. But do you know what? I'm just looking at the thing here, and Lancelot put out an oil short, and you know, when you look at the chart, I don't actually disagree with him totally, but I am long on oil for the simple reason that I have a fundamental belief in oil price, which I shouldn't, but I do. Okay, I always believe that oil should run between 65 and $100. That's it. Okay, and on average between 70 and 80. At the moment, for a while, it's been running in the lower 60s for whatever reason. But oil in the lower 60s, and I don't want to use the supermarket mentality, but oil in the lower 60s, in my experience, is pretty cheap. So I don't want to go short on it at this level. At this level, I just feel there isn't much room to go short on it. If you want to do it, you're in the right place. I don't disagree with you, and it can. But oil has hit the support level. It is bouncing on the support level. It is pushing hard to go down through it, and if it does, nasty. I have a stop loss down here, quite far down. But as I say, I'm long on it because I just think it really is at the bottom. And let's just have a look at something really interesting. It is pushing through that level, which is quite nasty. But let's just have a look at the RSI out of interest. You know, I like to do this sometimes when I'm not sure, and look at this. Okay. Now, institutional traders use the RSI, and when it's below a level like this, when it's so far down, they're going to start buying. They're going to start buying this at these levels. So I'm not selling, I'm buying. So I will leave that and let it turn around. My stop loss is quite far away, so I'm not concerned about it. We'll be in drawdown for a while. And eventually that's going to turn around and go back the other way. For whatever reason it's being pushed down, it doesn't really matter. It will turn around and go the other way. Yes, this will be a great place for analysis, this Telegram channel. And nice to see, now you get a clear picture of, there's a support level. You can see the support level. You can see it's in the support level. Having trouble reading Euro JPY at the moment. So I'm going to go and have a look at the Euro JPY as well. I guess I need to find it. Search Euro JPY. Let's just have a look quickly at the Euro JPY. Close that out. Okay. The Euro JPY is insanely bearish. Insanely bearish. It's falling like a monster, but we do have, I'm not even going to go to the day charts or anything like that, but let's just take it to the day chart quickly. Just out of interest, I want to put it on the day chart quickly. Let me just take these nasties out of here. Obviously put them there before, okay? And I just want to have a look here on the day chart. Where's the level? And the level on the day chart, let's put it in. That'll be our red. There's the level on the day chart. Okay. It's got quite a way to go. On the downside, on the day chart, 169. So careful of that. There's three crows. That's quite serious. It's pushing down. This baby's going down. She's going down. And she's going down hard. Here's another thing. You've got this break of structure here on the day. Let's just take it back to the 4 hour and see what it looks like. Okay, so your level is quite far down on the day. On the 4 hour, you've got another level here, which I'm just going to draw in, hopefully. Probably why I don't use these charts much anymore. So I'm going to draw that in. Yeah, there is a level here on the 4 hour. Let's make it red as well because it should be. There's a level there on the 4 hour, and you've got the break of structure straight through there, straight down. There is a support here on the 4 hour, which it seems to be hanging around at, but I think it's going to drop all the way through to the main one. And then you've got your resistance at the top here. Short, definitely. Euro Great Japanese yen is dropping like a stone. It's going down. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Apparently cancelled for this week. Current shown as tentative on the calendar. NFP, that is. Guys, the news events, you're not going to get the news events because they've shut down. They've shut down. So everything's shut. Okay, you're not going to get the CPIs and job figures and all that sort of stuff. It's all shut. Okay, it'll show as tentative. You're not going to get it. It's not coming out unless they open up. All right. So don't expect NFPs, non-farm payrolls, nothing. You're not getting it. Okay, it's not coming. They shut down. People are not going to get paid. That's effectively where it goes. People are not going to get paid because of this. All right. Okay. So no news whatsoever. You can expect no news. Maybe that's why the US 500 is so strong, because it's got no news and everybody's quite happy with it just going up. Crazy when you think about it. Everybody just likes it going up all the time. And yeah. Boom, 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 boom. Marcus is off to the dock. That's fantastic. Okay, good luck. Good luck with that. RS, I have trouble reading trend. Shane, it's actually quite easy to use the RSI. What were we using it on? What were we using it on now? On the Brent crude oil. You know, RSI is used by many of the institutional traders. I don't use the indicators because they take up space. I'm not a big fan of it taking up space, but all you got to do, Shane, is look at, there's a 70 on the top and the 30 level at the bottom. If it's breaking through that 70, it's way overbought. If it's breaking through the 30, it's way oversold. Oh, sorry. And in general, when that happens, the institutional traders start looking to buy, but they can hold a drawdown much longer than you and I can. So it doesn't matter to them, but they start looking for liquidity to buy, because for them, this is extremely oversold. So this could run for quite a while, below the level or in that level. That could hang on, but that's a signal for them to start buying. This is a signal for them to start selling. And like I said to you before, if you take a trend line, and for example, if you wanted to go short there, you would have drawn that in, and it broke through there, and it gives you the trend to the downside. Another thing you can use the RSI for is for divergence. If this is going up and that's going down, gives you the divergence, and it tells you that it's not working out correctly and it should go the other way. So, the RSI is quite easy to read once you know it. I just don't use it because I don't need it. When I do need it is when I'm undecided, when I'm looking at something and thinking, ooh, where do I stand with this? And Brent crude oil is kind of one of those situations where I look at it and think, it's hit support, I'm in the trade, and this could like really crash down and go much further. Where do we stand on the relative strength? Go and have a look at it. Oh, it's actually oversold, so I'll just keep my trade. Because you know what a lot of traders will do in this position right now is they'll sell out of the trade because this is just looking very ominous. Sell out of the trade, and then you find that you've sold out of the trade at completely the wrong level, because the next thing that it does tomorrow is it goes flying up and you think, oh, why did I sell out of that trade? When all you had to do was go and look at the RSI and say, should I sell out of that trade or not? And then you think, oh, maybe not. Maybe I should just stay in the trade because it looks okay. It's very much of a muchness when it comes to that. So watch out for that. People get sucked into selling there, and then you don't need to. It's right on the support. That level is a lot thicker than that line. There's a big support level here, and it's in the support level at the moment. It's holding that. It might hold that support, bounce up, and go back up to the top again, with it being so oversold. So bear that in mind. This one's overbought, most likely. You want to be careful buying it right now, because the institutional traders are going to start selling. What the institutional traders will do is they will suck you into the trade. They'll suck you in here. Buy, 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 buy. They'll suck you in. And when they see all that money in there, they're going to sell the hell out of it. And then you're going to be in shock. And they'll have a good reason for it. They'll say, well, let's be fair. There's a shutdown in the government. RSI on multiple time frames above 50 can be used to determine trend. Thanks, Nick. It will be cancelled this week, Fani. Everything's cancelled this week. All the news is cancelled this week. I think the Telegram channel is going to boom. I believe so, Henny. I believe that it probably will be quite a popular thing with you guys. I am trying to keep it to a situation of the most popular guys, the guys that follow us on the live show every week, the guys that are here, guys that come and try to learn something and whatnot, guys that are really interested. And I'm trying to keep it for you guys. But it is open to absolutely everyone. So there could be a lot of other people on there at the end of the day that can't make the live show maybe, or whatever the case, because they're at work or whatever the situation. I prefer using RSI with volume called MFI to catch false breakouts, for example. Yes, of course, if you use volume, then you're looking for false breakouts, you're looking for false moves and that sort of thing, because that's what volume's all about at the end of the day, or for real moves, guaranteed moves, moves that are good, moves that are bad, so on, so on, so on. So, yeah, if you're using volume with the RSI, that also works. I try to promote a system that doesn't use indicators to keep it simple. And I like to not use indicators as much as possible. I try to keep it simple with support and resistance, because you don't need much more than that. Because once you start putting too many complicated systems into the situation, it starts to overcomplicate your trading. And you know, the important thing here is not to take the trade as much as, not about taking the trade as much as managing the trade. But it is important to be able to take the trade. You don't want to be frozen when it's time to take the trade. And if you put too many indicators on the chart, you tend to freeze when taking the trade. So you don't want to do that as well. So I try not to promote too much in the way of indicators, but I will sometimes fall back on an RSI to check something out for myself, just to give me a feeling on where the market's going or whatever the case. But I don't put it on here because it takes up space, and I don't try and promote it to you guys as much as possible. I have made a video for you guys how to use the RSI. I have made a video for you guys how to use the moving average. I have made a video for you guys on how to use Fibonacci. I will make other videos about charting. I've made loads of videos about how to use the price action. My preference is to use the price action as much as possible. It's the easiest and the least hassle. The point here is, guys, whether you've got a system or not, the point here is to take the trade and manage the trade. That's the point. I should have asked that guy who commented that he's got such a good win rate what system he's using. That would have been interesting, just to see. I actually forgot. Maybe I still will. Maybe I'll still go back in the comment and ask. But yeah, it's very much being able to take the trade and then manage the trade. So if you put too many lines, for example, I could draw 1,000 lines on this chart. I could have lines all the way down here. I could have lines from top to bottom. And then when you do that, then you're also overcomplicating it, because too many lines on a chart, what they do is, I'm not talking about fib now. Fib's obviously different because you get the levels, but I'm talking about taking all these resistance and support lines and just drawing them in, drawing them in, drawing them in, drawing them in, level after level. And then you just see all these levels and it just boggles the mind, and it gets over confusing as well. So try and keep your levels at the right areas, at decent areas, like the big moves. Don't try and put levels all the way down and all the way in, because that's also just, you know, you want it from the bottom to the top. You don't want hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of levels in your system as well. You don't want hundreds of indicators. I've seen these systems where there's like moving averages, 20 moving averages on the system. You only need 2 moving averages to trade with. You're either investing and you're using a 50 and a 200, or you're trading and you're using a 9 and a 20 or an 8 and a 20, whichever you prefer. I prefer the 9 and the 20. There's nothing else that you need. I've seen people that got the 50 day, they got the 100 day, got the 89 day, they got the 20 day, they got the 40 day, they got the 10 day, they got 15 day. And then how do you don't even know which one's which anymore, which one's crossing which one. And there are systems where you can use a number of indicators, and when they come together and when they fall apart, those are systems that you can use as well. But don't overcomplicate it, guys. I prefer to keep it to price action. It's easier. But like I say, I don't believe in charts having a predictive capability anymore. I also don't believe in win rates. So that said, I'm using the system basically to take a trade, make myself feel comfortable that I'm going the right way, and then I go and manage the trade. That's as simple as it gets. Well said, Nick. For a moment there, Nick, I thought you were saying that you have to wait for everything to line up before you take a trade. Yeah, I know. I have to wait for everything to line up before I take a trade. You're never going to take any trades. You're just going to be frozen. Like, I'm never taking a trade. Imagine. Yeah, I know. But don't laugh, because you won't believe this, but I've done that. I did that in the past. You know, for me, I started before computers. So when computers came along and all these fancy indicators came along, guess what? I had to try them all out, didn't I? I had to try every damn indicator in the world out. Of course I did. It was new, shiny toys. I had to try them out, didn't I? And then, of course, you have to try them all out at the same time, don't you? Yeah, no, I've made those mistakes. Don't you worry. And then you look at the chart and you think, oh, if I take it long there, that one's telling me to go short, and that one's telling me not to trade at all, and that one's, you're going to confuse the nut out of yourself. It's absolutely crazy. It was a number of years ago, quite a long time ago, that I actually realized I want nothing on the chart as much as possible. I want cleaner. You know, I had all of the things at the bottom here. Okay, I had the stochastic, the MACD, the RSI, the volume, the you name it. I had it there. It takes up half the chart, number one, and then you got a tiny little chart on top that you're looking at, and then that's full of lines, all kinds of lines and moving averages and all kinds of stuff. How do you even see the chart? It's crazy. I've been there. I did it. I made those mistakes. Trust me, I made those mistakes. You're horrific. I can't believe I actually traded that way in the past. I mean, it was a long time ago when this was all new and there wasn't even prop firms around and all that kind of stuff. I mean, leverage trading was the big thing, the new thing that came out. Ooh, leverage trading. I can actually take $1,000 and turn it into $10,000 just like that. And off you go running in and leverage trading. I can get money for nothing. And you put your $1,000 in and you trade this $10,000, and 5 minutes later you're like, where's my $1,000? Oops. Seen it all, eh? Seen it all before. Wow. Good fun though. Good fun. Just to say, what a nice community of traders you got in the TG group. Great idea. Yes, it is. It is a nice community, and like I said, guys, how's it? Because like I said, guys, it's very important to note that on that Telegram channel, because we had the Discord and it went so pear-shaped, and I'll keep on mentioning that because I don't want it to happen again. But if anything like that ever does occur and somebody tries to get onto that system and they try to sell you something on Telegram, that's not me, okay? I'm not going to try and sell you anything on Telegram ever, 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 ever. So when you see that, question it, because then something is wrong. It's amazing how on Discord they were literally copying all my stuff, 100%, trying to scam people. And then the people that get on there, and then you try and tell them to go away and they won't go away. I think on Telegram, at least I have the ability to get rid of the menaces and block them out and stuff like that. So yeah, it'll be a nice group of traders. Get together, chat, put your stuff out there. Hopefully it doesn't drive everybody insane with constant messages and whatnot, but I think you can put a setting on there where it doesn't wake you up in the middle of the night and that type of thing. So hopefully that'll be okay. Hopefully that'll work out just fine. Okay. Peter. Now, Telegram's open, Peter. Just go back up on the chat. I did put a link there. Join us on Telegram, and there is another link in the description for join us on Telegram. Okay. Just scroll back on the chat. I think it's halfway up. You'll see Rob's Logical Trading. There's a link there for you on the chat. And other than that, go into the description and you'll find the Telegram channel there. Join us. Join us. Everybody's free to post their trades and that sort of thing. Like I said, just don't be contacting me in the middle of the night. It's on now. You can chat. It's there. It's there for you. Okay. It's there for all of us. I'll try to post here and there as well. Just remember, guys, that that's the one thing that's important to understand is first I'm a trader. Okay. So I have to manage my trading. And then I do my YouTube stuff and I do my helping stuff in between. So if I don't respond to you immediately, it's not because I don't like you or anything like that. It's because I'm busy, right? Okay, so don't concern yourself. I'll get to you when I can. All right. I'll always try. Let's put it that way. And Peter's in. There we go. So you found it. Perfect. You're all in. There you go. Absolutely stunning. Well, that's what I like to see. Everybody in, everybody there. joining us. Look at the DAX. Wow, what a move, eh? What a move. That's absolutely flying up, flying up. And the US 500 also on the move. And there's not even any news this week that can actually affect these markets. There's not even any news that can say, oh, that was a bad result. It's just, everybody's just happy to buy. You know when this is going to turn pear-shaped is when the government doesn't open. When this drags on and it starts dragging on for too long, then there's going to be some problems in the market and you're going to see some moves here. You're going to see some changes and some disasters. So when that happens, that could get quite tricky. What happened to our US dollar, Canadian dollar? How's that doing? Oh, that's holding on. So it's not deathly going bad or anything like that. It seems to be holding on just fine for now. We still seem to be in the trade. It hasn't broken through that prior high and taken all our money and run off with it. We're still in there. So at least that. Okay, perfect. That's absolutely brilliant. Just looking at my phone, getting all these millions of messages for you guys. Let's have a look at how the Telegram channel is looking at the moment, shall we? Why isn't it coming up here? It should be. Isn't that always interesting that it doesn't want to come up now? Oh well. It was coming up earlier. No, it doesn't want to come up. Why doesn't it want to come up now? I will try again. There we go. Telegram. There we go. Let's see what we got here. So we started off today with a show with just the 4 members, and now we've got 17 members online. Perfect. And it's all the good guys that are here. That's what I like to see. We're looking good. And that's the type of thing. You can post your little pictures there, and we can talk about our trades and so on. And just remember, it's a group, guys, so everyone can see everyone, and that's how it's going to be. But it's perfect. It's all good. And then everybody gets some kind of benefit from it, some kind of use from it at the end of the day. You know, if somebody says the US 500 is going up, then everybody can see the US 500 is going up. It's great. It's a great way to do it. Thanks, Peter. Good to have you on board. Now, Nick, JP Morgan predicts the shutdown will likely last 15 days. I just love JP Morgan, one or two others as well, BlackRock and all of them, because they're so good at predicting things. They always predict things. It's almost like they're insiders, you know. Yeah. You know that Jamie, is Jamie Dimon in charge of JP, or is it Morgan Stanley? I don't know. But he predicted that, well, he said that Bitcoin is just fresh air. That's insane. But yeah, they love predicting things. They always predict things. It was like, like this is going to last that long. And then they actually move the markets based on that whole scenario, which just goes to show that they have a belief that the government shutdown is only going to be for 15 days. So in other words, everything's going to be okay. Everything's just going to be fine, and we'll just invest in the market. We'll just keep on buying because everything's just going to be fine. That's just how it's going to be. I love it. I love it. I love the way these guys carry on. It's insane. It's almost like they have inside information, you know. And they're like, don't worry, it'll last 15 days and then it'll be all over. And then we'll just carry on making money the way we always do. And everyone will just keep on buying. Yeah. Something's going to change that. Something's going to make that turn around. Something's going to be, quite headachy on that front. Yeah, absolutely insane. Okay. Now that's lovely. All right. So what we know is the government shut down. What we know is there's no news this week. What we know is that everybody's just buying into the US 500. Everyone's just buying into gold. Everyone's just buying into Bitcoin. and that the US dollar, Canadian dollar has gone nowhere and is bearish and going down. The DAX is going up. I don't know, it just won't stop. And the Euro Japanese yen is looking rather short. That we know. The New Zealand dollar, US dollar is definitely moving to the upside. Should you buy gold or not? Watch out for the pins at top. He probably will throw his weight around when it doesn't happen. So guys, with that, I'm actually going to be on my way. I'm actually going to head now. I've got a few things to do, and I want to thank you guys for being here. It's been fun. Guys, enjoy the Telegram channel with us. It's going to be great chatting to you guys on a regular basis now. And if you have trades, post them out there, show everybody else, talk about them. It's all great. That's what I've opened it up for. I've opened it up so that everyone can get information and chat about the stuff and what have you. DAX is on the supply zone. All good. So the tax is going insane. But guys, thanks for being here. I'm going to head on my way. And on that note, thanks for watching. Keep your feet on the ground, reach for the sky. And I'll chat to you guys soon. It is Thursday, so enjoy your weekend. Have a good weekend. Come back and watch tomorrow's training video. And for the members, I'll see you in the morning with the members video every single day. And other than that, we'll be back next week, Tuesday at 1100 GMT plus 2. Just remember, guys, the guy who asked me what time, GMT plus 2 every single time. Thank you. Cheers. Ciao. Bye, guys.